All right, now we tune live in action. Everybody watch what you're saying in the chat. Cool. Yo, what's going on, guys? For those of you who do not know me, my name is Cesar Rivera, a.k.a. C the God, as the backdrop says. And I am the one who likes to scream the most on these calls. But these calls will not be possible without my right-hand man, the man who literally does a lot of the back-end stuff that y'all do not realize. The man who literally goes ahead and brings me on my A game each and every week. Yo, my brother, my partner in crime, my boy, yo, Kevito. What's up, bro?
Yeah. What's good? What's good? Can y'all hear me? Y'all hear me all right?
Bro.
Mic is good. Mic is live. All right, bet. Nah, man, I'm excited to be here. Happy Wednesday, man. I swear to God, these days be merging into each other, man. But now I'm more than grateful and beyond excited and enthused for our guests tonight. We have a lady sniper, guys. She's not one to play with. No cap. I've been seeing her. I've been following her, for a little bit now, and I've seen them US30 snaps. And that's not something to take very lightly. Indices is a beast of its own. But nah, man. Without further ado, man, if you want to do the honors, man, bring up the guests.
Oh, baby,
let's get the show started.
I've been practicing all week for this introduction. Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, cats, dogs, and everybody of all ages, please, I need y'all to get ready in this chat box to drop some 777s for a sniper queen, a true student to the game, someone who literally goes out her way, not just for her why, not just for herself, but for the people she truly cares and loves. I need y'all to really get ready and show some love in this chat for a queen who is literally so dedicated to this game that she does not care what obstacle comes in her way. All she cares about how she's going to get through the way and become the way for those after her, whether it be her family, her friends, her loved ones, her Discord, her group chat, feel me? So family, if y'all ready for a queen, are y'all ready for a true student to the game? Are y'all ready for what I genuinely do believe is going to be one of the next leaders within this company, within this industry, to be that individual leading the masses into what it truly means to be not just so much a trader, right? Anybody can buy and sell, but a disciplined trader, a consistent trader, someone who loves the game and not just the reward, the dollar sign, the XYZ, at the end. Yo, family, my queen, my sister, yo, Miss Nadia, what is up, sis?
Dude, what the heck? Like, okay, I swear, like every time I get introduced on like a different call, like someone else just like, you guys just take my breath away. Like, I don't know, I love the way you guys see me, and this community, this is a prime example. Oh, I love you. This is a prime example of the community. Like, the way you guys like just see me sometimes, it gives me every single confidence to wake up and just kick ass, because I got to do it for my people, right? What's up, guys? Thank you so much for this call. Like, I'm so honored to be here.
Of course, sis. We're honored to have you here. And honestly, it's not always so often when we go ahead and have one of the best, not just individual traders that we have, but just all around best students, best mentors, gurus, who are in the trenches with us, shoulder to shoulder. So, I know you're on a little bit of a personal level. I know some of the people in this chat box or in this call know you on a personal level. But for those of you who have not had the honor yet to really get to know you, your backstory, why is it you got into trading? If you could please do us the honor, go dive a little deeper.
Sure, of course. So for those of you guys who don't know me, shout out to my family that's here in the chat right now showing support. And then shout out to you guys who have no idea who I am and decided to hop on this call. And, maybe you're searching for something, and I hope that I'm able to provide as much value as I can to as many individuals on this call. But what's up, guys? My name is Nadia. I'm 26 years old. Yes, Jersey in the house. I am born and raised in Jersey, Jersey girl, but soon we're gonna change that, because Jersey, it's not all that. I don't like the cold, not a fan of the cold. I like to be in the sun. I like to have my skin sun-kissed. I don't like to be pale. So I live here my whole life, and I really I didn't grow up in a nice area. Like, we wasn't balling back then. Like, I grew up in the hood, and I'm like a little shy little girl, but I grew up in the hood, guys. And I kind of experienced what it was. I did experience what life is like to be live in a stereotypical home, right? Latina family, single mom, just like I fell under a statistic, low income. She couldn't go to college because she was a young single mom. So it was like, you know, we had all these statistics against us. And somehow I was able to witness this woman grow into someone who worked herself up into the corporate world. And I share a lot of my mom's story because her story is a lot of my inspiration. She pushed no college degree, guys, and my mom currently holds a really, really high ranking position in the corporate world, right under the vice president of her company. And I saw her do it day in and day out and just devote these hours, like nonstop dedication, because that was her passion, right? Like corporate world is not for me, and it may not be for a lot of us on this call, but it was for her. So she kicked ass. Like, let's just be real, like she did it. And when I became a young single mom as well, that's why I say her story is a lot of my story. That's where I get my inspiration from, because if she could do it, right, and if she could be able to break those generational curses, now why can't I do the same for my son? And of course, single mom, like my son just has me. Like, it's not like he has, like, you know, other people to fall back on. It's just me here. So I had to make sure that I did him justice and that I'm still doing him justice to this day. So I really just started like my entrepreneurial journey because I am a makeup artist. So shout out to my girls. I am a makeup artist, certified makeup artist. And to my guys, I'm also a special effects makeup artist. So I do zombie makeup and I do realistic like injuries and prosthetics and stuff. And that was a really, really big part of my journey, because once I got a taste of entrepreneurship and what it was like to make money for myself, and like, you know, like no one was taking money from me. I didn't got to clock in and out. I created my own schedule and I had control of my income. That taste, once I found out about trading, it like magnified 10x literally. Like, it, once I got a taste of what trading could do, it reminded me so much of my first emotions finding my entrepreneurial journey with makeup. And yeah, I mean, like I didn't look back. I just dove into the education. I'm lucky that a lot of the people who joined this academy, like they had to go through a lot of trials and tribulations and finding systems that work for them. And I was really lucky that when I joined, a lot of people were getting into smart money and a lot of people were getting into bounce back. And everyone was saying, go on bounce back, go on bounce back. So I didn't start as a retail trader. I just directly hopped onto Siva's Go Lives, and like I was just learning how to trade the right way. Yo, shout out Siva. Yes, Siva, in Siva we trust, guys. Religiously on Go Lives. And yeah, I mean, I didn't look back, and a lot changed for me though in my trading journey once I started to dive more into just the way the economy works, the way that the world around us works, the way that the world around us affects the markets. And to be honest, guys, like I said, like I'm gonna keep it G. I'm a makeup artist. Like I didn't watch the news. Like I'm gonna be real. Like, I didn't care about that. Powell, I didn't know who that was. Like, it's honest. But once I found out that I could make money by knowing this information and the power that it had, and also the importance, right? Because it's important to know what's going on in the world we live in. And a lot of people turn a blind eye into things that are happening every day. And it's like, no, like that's not the case. And also, a lot of people don't even know because the media doesn't want us to know. There is so much media manipulation, so much going on that you have to search for this information, but you have to be willing to search this information. All of that hand in hand became very powerful for me. And I was just like, I'd be silly. Come on, I'd be silly if I didn't take what I knew and, to be honest, like make income, okay, yeah, but teach other people this. And that's what's really important to me, is teaching other people the importance of learning your economy and learning the way it can affect the market. So that's a little bit about me, y'all.
Hey, yo, you said a lot there, not gonna lie. Let's kind of unpackage that, right? Let's unpackage that. And I like kind of where you left off. I think that's like really perfect. Just, steerway to this next question is like, what does it mean to you, Nadia? What does it mean to you to escape the matrix? And why do you think it's important? Why do you think that's important for like personal growth and your spiritual development for like anybody, right? So like,
Yeah, I mean, that's an amazing question, honestly. And I've never been asked that before in my life, but I don't want to live my life in ignorance, and I have a child to live for. And I feel like escaping the matrix is letting that go and not turning a blind eye to the things that are happening and the things that are affecting not only, our parents' generation, but now our generation and now also our kids' generations. Like, I know like a few of you guys aren't parents, but let's think about it. Eventually, one day, some of us will be parents here. And I don't want my kid to be ignorant to what's going on around him in the world. I want him to be an exceptional human being, not just an okay human being, not just like living life day by day human being. So with all that being said, like escaping the matrix is very important to me, and just awakening my mind to different topics that I once was ignorant to. I mean, and not to get like into too much sensitive topics, but like a lot of like Siva's call last night, he did touch on a lot of like the transgender movement, stuff like that. And I won't really get too much into it, but the fact that it's in our schools because of the fact of a lot of ignorance is just, it's very uncomfortable because of the fact that I don't want my child to experience this at such a young age where he can't mentally handle this information. And also knowing that it is kind of like a sort of cover up to real things that are happening in the world. It's a distraction. I mean, yes, it is, a movement or something that's going on, and it's something that affects everybody. And, do your own thing. I don't care what you do. Like, I say that all the time. Like, what you do is none of my business. What you do does not affect me. Only what I do affects me. And unfortunately, or not unfortunately, fortunately, I have a son that allows me to become aware to topics that I once, like before Orion, I probably would have been like, um, that's a transphobic statement. Don't say that. Like, I would be very ignorant and very defensive because I didn't know, and like, so escaping the matrix is letting that defense down, holding yourself accountable to your actions, and becoming aware of the world around you and applying it to your life so that not only can you change your lifestyle, and of course, once you change your lifestyle, once you change your mindset, what else changes? The way you make money, the way you invest your money, the way you manage your money, like all that comes into play. It's all a puzzle. And once you start with certain, like, putting one piece together, then the image gets a little bit clearer and you're like, oh, okay, I know this piece goes here and this piece goes here, until you have the entire vision in front of you. So all of these factors come into play, and escaping the matrix is so important. Like, just don't live your life in ignorance.
I love that. I really do love that. And I want to dive a little deeper because you really like put it all together here with this. So as you know, and like you said in the beginning, you could have been just another Jersey statistic. Like I get that. If any of us on this call could have been another anything statistic, right? Single mother, had to do fend for yourself, X, Y, Z, da da da. Now, obviously, you decide to escape the matrix, right, by figure out an entrepreneurial route. Now, other people, especially from Jersey, I got family over in Union, Kearney, Patterson, all over. I'm Woken sometimes, like
We're neighbors.
oh, that ass. That's all I got for this, but that ass. So, like, why is it that for you, instead of staying inside the matrix, what was it that made you like start to personal develop, looking for actual legal routes as to get your income, and then from there, like you said, as you start to become more self-aware, it started to trickle onto other matters, your ignorance, your finances, XYZ. Did you notice as you became more self-aware within your own journey as a personal development, did it, start to affect your trading? Were you a little more aware of how you were rushing into trades or anything like that? I'm curious, and like, again, why is it that you think so many people, they just stay in the matrix? Because, the statistic majorly is people who are born in Jersey, raised in Jersey, die in Jersey. They don't leave Jersey. They don't leave, the tri-state. They don't leave even the US. So
No, they don't. And Jersey is a very, very big state, and we have lots of cities and stuff, but a lot of people in Jersey, there's a lot of small town mentality here where it's like, like you're kind of stuck here. Like, go get a career and buy your house here. And like, first of all, don't buy your house here. Don't buy your house here, please. Real estate is so expensive for no reason. Absolutely not. But anyways, that's a whole nother topic. I'm not into real estate, but um it's just a lot of small town mentality, and I was sick of it. Like, before I had my son, I had small town mentality. I was like, okay, I was a manager at a makeup store. when I got, like, right before I got pregnant with my son. So like, imagine that. Like, I was okay with being a manager at a makeup store. I was balling. I was, like, this was it. I made it. Like, my dreams had come true. And then when I had my son, I was like, this can't be it. This is not gonna give. Okay, right? I want my son to be an exceptional human being, but I want to provide him with an exceptional life, a life that he deserves. He's an amazing child. And when I found out I was having him, I knew that the same way that I deserved that opportunity that my mother gave me in bettering our lives for us to live a better life, I wanted to be able to do that for my son, if that makes sense. Like, I wanted to be able to now, grow from where we're at to an exceptional life where he doesn't have to worry about anything. Again, my mom did what she had to do to get us where we need to be, but we saw a lot of struggle. And like, I hate that like cliche line of like everyone talking about their struggles, but if I'm being vulnerable here, there was struggles. Like, there was times where Christmas time, there was a dining room table and a Christmas tree. That was it. No gifts, nothing, but we had each other, and we had each other to to support each other on becoming better, to striving for more, striving for greatness. We had that support within each other. And when I found out I was pregnant with my son, that support remained. That remained my whole life, my whole childhood, everything. Like, throughout struggle and throughout the good times, I always had the support. And when I found out that I was pregnant with my son, that didn't fail. The support was still there. My mom said, okay, you're going to be a young single mom, but that's okay. I got you. I worked hard to be here. And to be here and be able to take care of you if you need to, if you need someone to fall back on, if you're being a young single mom is hard financially. If you need anything, I got your back. Like, this is our baby. Like, we're doing this together. Like, that's what it was. And that in itself was so beautiful and important enough for me to break out the matrix, because I want to be able to say that to my son. I want my son to be able to come up to me, like my Spanish speaker, sin pena, right? Without shame, come up to me, mom, listen, this is what's up. And I want to be able to say, okay, baby, don't worry. I got you. I got you. I got this. I worked hard so that I could handle this, so I could be able to take care of this for you. And that for me is breaking a huge generational curse, because my mom didn't have that. Like, like, and in the beginning, like, there was times where that faltered because my mom was learning how to be a mom, but it would always come back. It was just, she was learning. We're not perfect. um but yeah, I think that in all honesty, like, just all those experiences was enough for me to just want more. And then yes, it did affect my trading, because I joined this company when my son was a year old. I was in another network marketing company selling hair products and skincare. And I thought I had made it, right? Again, like, I thought I had made it, but I wasn't growing my money. Actually, I was spending more money in that company because I had to buy products so I could post about them on my story so I could get clients. So I wasn't using my money smartly, and I was in an environment where people were preaching about financial freedom and time freedom, but no one had financial freedom. No one had time freedom, as a majority of MLM companies are. They are like that. There is no actual financial freedom and no actual time freedom. So when I found out about I Am Academy, and I found out about the educational platform, and the fact that I Am Academy, truthfully speaking, as an educational platform, is always going to remain solid, because there is so much value there, because of all the information, because of all the education. Sorry, I was reading a comment. Because of all the education that was there, like, that was eye-opening for me, because I didn't need to build to rely on this, right? So making that switch over from one network marketing company to another was a whole nother self-awareness journey, because now I was becoming aware of what real financial freedom was, because that's what the educational platform offers, that, like DCX, TBX, FRX, learning this information, learning this skill sets offers that independency. So, sorry guys, the chat kind of distracted me a little bit. So from that switch over, there was all this awareness going on. And then when I finally got on the charts, I was very cocky when I got on the charts, because I was like, okay, I know I can get financial freedom from here. I know I can get time freedom from here. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to kick ass. I'm going to make money. And of course, you know, when you're demo trading, like your ego grows and your ego grows and your ego grows. And then I started live trading and I blew all my accounts, and it humbled the freak out of me, to the point where I said, okay, I need to work on becoming more aware of what it is that I'm doing. And it did change me as a trader, because I actually stopped trading until I had that awareness on the charts, until I was able to, you know, hold myself accountable to certain things, until I was able to break out of bad habits that I had applied in my personal life, so that I could apply them, you know, so that I could apply good habits onto the charts.
Sheesh, sheesh. Nah, that's facts. It's like really, at the end of the day, it's the fact that you had such a support system that really, helped you conquer a lot of personal stuff. And I think it's kind of amazing because obviously, like you said, in trading, even if you have an ego, that will get deflated at some point. So the fact that you still had that support system, even throughout, including into your trading journey, that's kind of incredible because, that's really a lot of people, even me, we didn't have the greatest support system. Like our family were telling us, what are you doing with your life? What is this Bitcoin, Forex stuff? Like, go get a job, XYZ, but the fact that your family, to what extent support they had you, they understood like, yo, you're a woman on a mission. Feel me? So we have two choices. Either we're going to get in your way, get the hell out the way. And I think your mom was pretty smart very quickly to understand you need to get out the way, So I do have another question to build off of that, but I'm actually going to let my boy Kevo go. Sorry, this C4 is whooping my ass.
Oh, word, man. You could have gone. You could ask a question, but just to kind of touch on that whole topic as well, like I think a huge problem in our society is I think there's a lot of cognitive dissonance. I think if you're like the black sheep in your family and you just see things differently, especially at an early age, it's kind of crazy. You could kind of feel lonely at times, right? You feel like no one's really there to help you and stuff like that. And it's just crazy because something that's always stuck with me since I was just like, I started this whole journey was some people would rather believe a comforting lie than a painful truth, because if they believe the truth, it's going to go against every single thing that they've ever thought was real. So they'd rather live in that lie than have everything basically become like an illusion, I guess, right? So you can't really, it's not really their fault. That's what I've come to realize was like, okay, like some people are just NPCs and that's okay. Some people are just bots in this world. And it's just, that's perfectly fine, right? Like I realized, like I used to think like, yo, we're here to save everybody. Yeah, I used to think, oh, I'm gonna save the whole world. And now I'm at the point where it's like, you can only save people who want to be saved, because at the end of the day, you could take someone, right? You could take a horse to the water, but you can't make the horse drink, right? They have to drink it themselves, right? It's like a red pill, blue pill. You got to take that, right? I can only show you how far it goes, but you have to enter that door. But just kind of wanted to add on to that. And so like now that we kind of were talking about more things in the nature of like trading, I wanted to ask you, what are some key principles that you live by when it comes to trading, and how have they helped you become or at least see more success with your trading?
Sure. So when I first started trading, guys, I was wilding. I'm just gonna be straight up honest with you guys. My first pair that I traded was NAS 100. That was the first pair I ever. Yeah, something like that, definitely. I was wilding. I don't know what was up with me, honestly. But there was a lot of hype going around indices at the time that I started. So I was like, okay, I'm hearing, okay, if you're new, don't start with indices, but everyone's talking about how you can make so much money off it. You know what? I'm just gonna look at a chart. And I'm gonna demo trade. I'm gonna enter a demo trade. I'm gonna see what's up. Let's touch NAS. And I made $1,200 on a demo account of 5K, I think it was. I think the trade was about 700 pips. And I literally just looked at a chart and I said, oh, the market's here and I feel like it's going to go here. It looks like it's going to go here. And I entered a trade and I saw like, what it could do for you. So, but I was being reckless, right? So I had to come back with, I blew accounts. I blew accounts, so many accounts, so many live accounts. And it was just ridiculous because as a single mom, like I didn't really at the time have that extra income to fund a live account, and every time I blew an account, I was like, damn, like I actually had a call about this for the women community, girls who trade. And I gave them a key pointer. When you fund your account, don't fund your account with the mindset that, oh, this could have been a box of diapers, or this could have been milk for my son, or this could, like you gotta fund your account. And like that money is like, that's not yours anymore. That's the market's. Like now it's up to you what you do with that money, but she belongs to the streets. So like that's where your money is right now. And I had that attachment. Every time I blew an account, I would always be like, bro, I could have bought Orion a box of diapers with this, or I could have done this. And it was very hard for me. So I had to create structure, right? I had to go ahead and say, okay, I'm going to budget myself. I'm going to make sure that I have the money for the things that I need so that when I do fund an account, I'm not feeling that loss. I'm not feeling that that attachment to that money, because when you fund an account like that, you're attaching yourself to that money. And that's the last thing you want to do, right? Connected to everything, attached to nothing. And when you attach yourself to money specifically, that's when bad habits show up on the charts. That's when greed shows up. That's when no risk management shows up. That's when market execution, no stop loss, no TP, just riding that be out, that's when that comes out. So I created this structure and I started like looking into trading plans. And honestly, I just kind of established a solid trading plan for me not too long ago. It's always a journey. You're always going to be adding different things and stuff. But right now, my key principles I think is one, I always make sure that for me, especially because of the way I trade, because of my style of scalping, it is a little bit higher risk, right? But I want to practice proper risk management still. Yes, like the scalping on the 1 minute, the 5 minute, like it's very, very intense. So I want to be able to still apply risk management. So what do? When I try to mark up a chart, I look, okay, what strategy is going to help me find those perfect entries, those no drawdown entries, right? What's going to teach you that? Smart money, right? That I just started learning about Wyckoff and I'm like, guys, I'm not even going to teach you guys about Wyckoff because I'm still a student, but I just started learning and I'm like, this is it. Like, this is exactly what I need. So I try to find strategies like that because that's the type of trader that I am. You may not be that trader and that's fine. You can go, learn something else that makes you profitable as long as you're profitable, whatever. But I look for strategies like that. When I enter a trade, even though I only do market execution, I don't do any limits or orders, none of that. I do market execution. So I make sure that when I enter in the entry that I'm looking for, and I'm hoping, no drawdown or whatever, I always set my stop loss to break even, and then I move it to stop profit. I always make sure that I'm setting a good space for myself for stop profit, but also giving my trade room to breathe. And that's very important to me. That's like one of my important like principles right now as a trader, like strategy wise, is doing that, but also mentally making sure that I'm in the right environment. So a lot of what I was doing as a new trader was trading when Orion was home with me while I was like taking care of Orion trading. That's crazy in itself because that's not the right environment. And some people like, you're out with your boys and you're trading. No, and you're flexing money. That's not the right environment. And some people are like, just sitting on a little laptop and, marking up trading view. No, give yourself the right environment, give yourself the right setting, give yourself the right tools. And that was very important. So he likes that one. Yeah, but it's true. I've seen people mark up charts on their phone. I'm like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. If you need to go to the library, go to the library. There's a lot of public libraries. Do what you got to do, but give yourself that environment.
Yeah, once you really study Wyckoff, smart money, you can be like C's and you know, markup charts, trade in the club. You know, there's levels to this.
No,
No,
no trading in the club. No. Nah,
that
this
is
is
not.
we do what we do so we can enjoy the times in the club, you
That's
know?
facts. That's super facts.
That's why you got to
I
give
always.
yourself the right environment, because then you'll find the right moves where you're not looking for those trades at the club.
Mm,
That's a bar.
Man,
hold up.
drop
That's a
it,
bomb
drop it, drop
right
it, drop
there,
it.
bro. We gotta drop that bomb. It's like you said, like we have. You can think about how many friends we have. We have like 20 friends. We can go out to the club, go out party, do that whole thing, right? But how many friends you have that are down to study trading, study credit, study crypto? You know, develop your mindset, elevate your vibration, things like that nature. Like, how many friends do you really have in your circle that are doing that, right? And you always and like you have to also surround yourself with people. This is something I learned from a millionaire actually. I met in person once, and he said that like you don't always want to spend time with people who are quote unquote, I guess like less than you or like at a lower level than you. And you also don't only want to spend time with people who are at your level. That's like those people at your level, that's good, right? Because you guys like help each other and like you feed off each other. But you want to spend time with people who are at another level. And that's something that's a principle that really took me to the next level was like, yo, I got to surround myself with people who got the results that I want. And that's what you hear from every single successful person in the world is like, yo, like to be real, 100% real, like no one in my family, like I don't come from money. My family doesn't come from money. None of my friends ever came from money. So I was like, damn, if I stay here, I'm looking out at like the people, like that's kind of where my life is going to be headed. So like it's hard, to swallow that pill and really like learn to love people from a distance. I think that's a key right there is that, hey, look, I'm about to embark on this new journey. We're gonna go on some side quests. We're gonna go on some crazy journeys, right? And yo, you're down to come with me. But if not, just at least respect, what I'm doing here. But that's just kind of like I just wanted to add like my little 2 cents on that. But what time is it? It's 10:47, man. You think it's time for the charts, man. I think C's is ready. This it's not a money heist call if we don't go over some charts. So yo, you got any setups you're looking at, or is there like, if you want to break down your strategy? I know you mentioned that you trade smart money concepts. You're starting to dabble into Wyckoff. So if you want to kind of break down anything that you may be looking at, or just kind of your approach towards the market, how you manage trades and things of that nature, go ahead and you should be able to share your screen.
She just said he had to pay rent. I'm dead. No, we're not. I don't think we're gonna pay rent. No, I'm just kidding. We hella are. Yeah, okay, when I first started trading and marking up charts, I'll be honest, I started a lot off key levels, market structure, and trend, and my eye still naturally goes there. But a lot of part of my strategy now, entering trades, especially on US30, I look for breakup structure. Okay, besides Wyckoff, ignore the Wyckoff on the screen. Okay, I need this up because I'm still learning Wyckoff. I'm not deleting it yet. I'm in love with this markup right now. But I started looking for what my confirmations were, what was giving me my entries with no drawdown, especially on news. So my breakup structure, and I was looking for imbalance fills for TPs. That's what I was working with. And I was working with Fib Tool. But a lot of what I trade is actually news. So let's go ahead and look at news, right? Let's look at Forex Factory. So tomorrow we actually have PPI. PPI is produce price index, if I'm not mistaken. I'll go ahead and actually I have it saved here for you guys because I wanted to show you this website if you guys don't know. Let me just hide this because why? Okay, there you go. So all these reports that get dropped on Forex Factory, you actually have access to. A lot of people don't understand that. Like they think that news just stops right then and there at Forex Factory. And that's what I want to get into first. That's not the end all be all with news. You have to further dive into these reports and understand what the news mean. So when we go to economic releases on bls.gov, this is a government website, everyone has access to it. You have, this is your right to go on these websites and understand what's going on in the world. So when you go to inflation and prices, yes, so producer price index, I'm sorry, guys. So if you go here and you open up the PDF file, you're gonna go ahead, and I'm just waiting for it to load. You have access to PPI reports from the past months, and you're able to go ahead and do comparisons. And not only that, but if you read, I'm not going to go through every single page, because if you literally read it, it explains to you what's happening and why and how this affects inflation, how this affects our economy, how this affects prices on goods like gas, food, oil, mortgages as well, car payments, like all of that comes into play when it comes to these reports. So if you do, when you are trading news, I highly recommend going into these reports and understanding what they mean. Now, let's say you're someone who, you didn't really like, school really wasn't for you, because guys, like for me, school really wasn't for me. I did not walk at graduation. I had to go to summer school because I hated school so much. Like I can't sit there and read something and learn. So, I'm gonna give you guys a little free sauce. Yes, a little YouTube sauce. So if you don't know how to decipher what it is that these reports means, here's a little cheat sheet. This guy here, Clear Value Packs, is someone that I started watching to help me understand what exactly these reports meant. And he actually breaks down not only PPI, but CPI, and goes over FOMC meetings and all these events that you see, all these folders that you see dropping, right? That people are making all these crazy moves on. He's going to go over those reports and analyze them with you and tell you what this means for the economy. So I highly recommend that if you're someone who's been wanting to get into fundamentals and combine it with technical analysis, definitely go ahead and dive into this website as well, BLS, play around with it, go through different reports, back test, please. Back test these reports, because especially on US30, a lot of these folders move the same way over and over again. It's the same moves. If you're expecting the same results, right? Let's say inflation hasn't changed and we're gonna see, the same rate, you're gonna see the same move. If you're seeing inflation go up, okay, so go back to a time where you saw inflation go up and back test it. If inflation is expected to go down, go ahead and back test what happens when inflation goes down. Back test every single thing. FOMC, let's get into it with Powell and all these Fed speeches. Back test them. What they do is they manipulate the market so that way they can go ahead and set this strategy up. What they're gonna do, smart money, I've noticed, smart money will always do what it's supposed to do regardless of news. But what news is going to do is take out those people that don't think like us. It's going to take them out. So what are you going to do, right? If you're expecting, if a retail trader looks at a chart and like you can easily see, okay, a normal retail trader is going to be looking for a buy and news event is going to happen. What's going to happen? News is going to stop out those retail traders, so it's going to sell. You know what I mean? So it's pretty basic. Oh, I'm sorry. It's pretty basic, honestly, but okay, let's get into it. So tomorrow we have PPI, and with PPI, I am looking for a strong dollar. I can open DXY as well. Let me see. Actually, yeah, there you go. So DXY, right, we were on a downtrend, and now right here, I see an accumulation starting to form for DXY, and there's a lot of imbalances that I'm looking for DXY to come up to sell. And of course, we've seen that with everything going on, the dollar's been really, really weak. So what are they going to try to do, right? They're going to try to bring the dollar back up. They're going to try to, save the economy temporarily, because long term, what we're going to see is we're going to see a further crash. we're going to see things get worse, right? Like a lot of people are talking about it, theories of middle class no longer being middle class anymore. Things are going to get bad. So what are we going to do first? We're going to create a strong dollar. We're going to create hope. We're going to have people go to the banks and take out loans, right? Because, you know, interest rate is down. So let's go get money. And then what's going to happen? Now everything is back up. Interest is back up. You cannot pay off this loan. Unemployment is up as well. Jobs are down. Google is dropping people again. Twitter's dropping people again. Everyone's dropping people again. And we're going to see the real recession. So what are we going to do? We're going to create a strong dollar before we go ahead and take that plummet down. So what are we looking on US30? If you guys trade in indices, go ahead and drop in the chat how DXY works with indices. Let's see who knows. So if DXY, thank you. If DXY is up, indices, stop Caesar. Okay, so if DXY is up, indices are down. I believe gold as well. I don't trade gold. I only trade US30, guys. Don't ask me anything about anything else. I only trade US30. That is just like that. But yeah, so indices are down if DXY is up. So what's gonna happen tomorrow? What's gonna happen, honestly, what I'm looking for news to do is I'm actually looking for news to buy so that it can go ahead and sweep this liquidity. But I am looking long-term for this sell on the 4-hour. I'm looking for this move to happen, especially with news being able to create that imbalance in the market. That's definitely what I'm looking for. And I personally, like, if we go down to if we want to get more, sorry guys, my AirPods just died. Okay, so if we go into the 15-minute, which was something that was interesting for me. This imbalance right here, especially when it comes to news tomorrow, stands out to me the most. I'm just trying to find it right here. This stands out to me the most. And especially on the larger time frame that we have that liquidity on the upside, I'm going to go ahead and look for it to sweep that out. I love news because those candle wicks, they just reject so perfectly off these imbalances. And what I go ahead and do, so a lot of my sniper entries that I post, and like, they look nice, yeah, but they're really scary. So like, for example, I posted a sell on US30 during FOMC, and right before FOMC, there was CPI. If I'm not mistaken. Yes, it was CPI in the morning. And then right after that was FOMC. And it wicked off, or no, I'm sorry, the candle opened up, news dropped, the folder opened, and the candle bought. And it bought about 300 pips. But then it reacted off of a previous imbalance, wicked, and ended up like going way. If people would have moved their stop loss to break even, they would have been stopped out. If people would have kept their stop loss in place, they would have lost their money. Like, it would have been really bad because it happened like this within seconds. Like, honestly, if you were scalping on the 1 minute, you probably wouldn't have even been able to catch it. So what I do is when I look at that reject for the imbalance, I go ahead, and even though I see it buying, I look for the perfect time to go ahead and sell, because I know that I'm expecting that rejection with news. And you guys have all seen news candles wick. They're the long, scary wicks that no one wants to trade. So what do? I go ahead and I get in right there. And yeah, and then that's what I'm going to look for, honestly. I'm going to look for that wick. And then once I get back down to this area, I'm going to go ahead and enter for my sell. But that's what I'm looking for US30. Nothing too crazy. It's going to be a light day tomorrow. It's not going to be crazy.
US30 was bad. On God. Like, yo, but she broke my heart this morning. Not gonna lie. She really did. It was my fault, though. It was my fault because I had a pretty tight stop loss. So you know that massive drop off at, I think, New York Open.
Mhm.
There's like a 1 minute distribution that was just sexy, and It tagged my stop just barely. I don't know why I had my stop that tight. I usually don't. And then I think just fucking just died. I was so sad, man. But that's the thing is like you can't really be attached to trades like that. I think that's a huge lesson that I've learned is like you gotta have that non-detachment, right? Like law of attraction and law of detachment go hand in hand. So it's kind of like relationships, like if you don't learn from that trauma and you don't let go of that previous relationship, then you're gonna carry that into the next relationship and the next relationship. That's a lot of people they find like the same kind of relationships over and over again because they don't learn from it. So that's gonna have to treat these trades as well. I realize it's like, you can't be emotionally attached to like losses and wins and stuff like that. You gotta let go.
Especially if you want to get into US30 and indices. Don't marry your trade
Oh,
because the way the market prints, especially on indices, but specifically on US30, like this markup will probably change for me later on. Because I'm going to go ahead and look at the market on a smaller time frame, and I'm going to look for certain signals. I'm going to look for my breakup structure, and I'm going to look to see if the market is leaving imbalances, if the market is creating liquidity somewhere where I wasn't expecting. You can't marry your trade because at the end of the day, the market's going to do what the market wants to do. Like, it's not going to do what your trade said. Like, don't say, oh, market's going to do this and it's going to do it. No, like that's cockiness and that's ego. You got to let that go and just realize that the market's going to do what it wants to do, and just stay on top of, like, if you set up a markup, if you do orders and limits and stuff, check on your trade. Make sure you're checking the market. Don't just set it and forget it. I hate that saying. Don't set it and forget it. Check on your trade. Go on to smaller time frames. Don't be scared to look at the 1 minute. People are scared to look at the 1 minute. Why? It's there for
you
a
gotta be,
reason.
you gotta be fluid. You gotta flow with the markets. That's how you stay in sync. Is like play both sides. Like I like playing both sides and hedging myself because like once your trade management is on point, like you can ping pong the hell out of these markets and position yourself to basically not miss a move, right? You're not gonna like snipe every single trade, right? You might not pull the trigger on every trade, but like doing that, at least from my experience, has helped me like just be in position for the big buy or the big sell that happens. And then parceling out as well is key when you're doing that. But trade management, like that is that is so important, and trading like that will help you tenfold. Make sure you're properly managing it, like she said, like don't just set it and forget it. Because markets will do what the market will do. That thing is gonna thing. But it is 11:02. C's,
Well,
man,
no,
you got any final questions, bro, before we wrap this up?
I do. I got one. Well, it's kind of like a three-parter, but it's one kind of question for the queen. So you was talking, and it's very true. You cannot be attached to your trades, even though I'm completely attached to my bias sometimes. I'm gonna admit it. You said it yourself, ego can really be detrimental. So, obviously being known as a sniper queen or now being the journey where you are, how is it that you can handle a winning streak? How is it that you kind of recuperate from a losing streak? And then from there, do you think, how managing those two ends of the spectrum really what can make or break a trader in the long run?
Okay, bet. And this is going to be a perfect way to end the call as well, because I have something that I do want to bring up, and I did want to touch on this call because it's very important for me to share every aspect of my trading journey with people who watch my story. And also, I hate that whole sniper queen, US30 queen. Come on,
Oh
like,
wow. Oh wow,
I'm
you
just a
earned it.
trader. I'm just a trader. I just be
Oh,
trading
you earned it.
US30. Like,
It's
Love
yours.
that
Absolute
name.
boo-hoo. You think LeBron cries because
You
people call him the GOAT after he worked all them damn years? You think he mad going to bed like, damn, I'm a king? Oh, no. It happened. You think I really want to be a god every single day? No. But you know what?
I
We
just
earned it. So run with
it's
it.
so it's so crazy because those terms are, I love it. I love the way that the community empowers me, honestly. It sounds a little ungrateful. I guess it's just so weird for me to get used to like those terms. I don't know. It's just I'm just a trader, like I just see it that way. And that's what really helped me drop the ego is like because of the fact that I have like I had this reputation of these winning streaks, and I had this reputation of gaining my funded account in days, and I had all of this hype around me. It was important for me to still remain humble, because I noticed that whenever I lost that, and whenever I really whenever I just let ego take over, I wasn't really I wasn't managing my money the right way. And I was taking bigger risks, bolder risks. And yes, they were still hitting. But they were risks that could have seriously got me in trouble, until eventually one day it did get me in trouble, and I lost my funded account because of ego. And I actually hopped off of the markets for 3 weeks after I lost my funded account. I took a 3-week break to really self-reflect on what it was that happened and what I could have done better to prevent that, because I became attached to that funded account, right? And I had profits in that funded account, right? Like, I'm not good, guys. I had my funded account for about 9 days, and I was sitting at about 9.6K in profits. And I had gained my funded account on March 15th, and my first payout was April 15th. And I'm explaining this so you guys can understand where I went wrong and where you guys could see the attachment. My mom's birthday is April 16th. I told myself that for my mom's birthday, I was going to gift her 5K. I was going to gift her 5 bands. And then I was going to go ahead and take that other money and save it, go into more accounts, invest in live accounts, do what it is that I needed to do. But I had that emotional attachment to the money because I involved my mom to it. I tied my mom to my funded account. I got emotional with it. I was making plans with it. And I was doing all that because of ego, because everyone kept saying US30 Sniper Queen, US6 miss 600 pips. And you can't let that get to you. You have to remain humble and remember that, again, the market's going to do what the market wants to do. At the end of the day, you're always a student, always. Never stop learning. The second you stop learning is the second you stop growing, and that's the second you start dying. So never, ever, ever stop learning and humble yourself. You don't know everything. You don't know everything. You will always need to be 1% better. And I post about this a lot on my story. Woke up today to be 1% better, and I truly live by it. Every morning when I wake up, I say, okay, what can I do today that was better than yesterday? Like, you always have room for improvement. No one is perfect in this world. No one. So remain humble, drop the freaking ego. I know I posted about no stop loss the other day, but I meant no stop loss as in put that in stop profit or break even. Be responsible with your money. Don't play with your money, whether you have kids or you don't have kids. Be responsible with your money, whether you want to take your money to buy a house or if you want to take your money to go on vacation. Be responsible, and also don't become attached to it. Like, if you're in profits, don't be like, hey, this is gonna be a boys Miami trip, city boys, we out. No, that money's not yours till you withdraw, then the city boys out. So remain humble, guys, and yeah, always be a student, never stop learning.
Fuck. Damn, you have to come from my neck like that, because that is really, honestly, that is very true. It is very so easily oh, I'm on a 3-day winning streak. Oh, I done hit this milestone or that milestone. You're already so attached to the money. You're so attached to the ego. You're so attached to the outcome that now that, when reality hits, because at one point it will, you're just that much more inflated, when reality is just part of the journey. So I remember hearing this saying one time, people get so sad about life because we're so attached that life needs to be perfect. But the reality is life is imperfect. So once we realize that life is imperfect, we actually are very happy throughout the lows and the highs, because the highs are the highs that are created from the lows. The lows are a part of life, so they're actually not lows at all, right? So that's actually amazing, yo, phenomenal causes. I'm so proud of being on this call with you. I'm so happy and grateful that I get to have you on this call, because really, at the end of the day, I always say this, Money Heist would be nothing without you, without the students tuned in, tapped in every single week. Yo, I'm just a guy who screams on your computer. That's it. Really, no, honestly, you guys are the culture. You guys are the call. You guys will make this possible every single week. So, yo, sis, Nadia, I'm so proud of you. I'm so grateful to have you on this call. And, I would love to have you on this call again sometime in the near future. We can run it up together, talk more about your experience, your journey. But with that being said, Familia, Kev, if you good, I'm good. Nadia, if you good, we good. It is 12:09 over on the East Coast. We're gonna go ahead and end this call. I appreciate every single one of y'all for tuning in, tapping in this week's Money Heist. It was something so spectacular, so spontaneous that I can't wait to watch the recording again and again and again. Feel me? So, as always, family, stay patient, stay disciplined, and the gains will come. Have a great night, everybody.